I don't know about you, but you ever felt like you wake up in the morning, you go about your day, and you feel like someone else is living your life for you, or you're not really living, you're almost on autopilot. And that I want to talk to you about the root. Where did that come from? So we're not just surviving life, but actually striving in life. Well, the first thing for me, what I've found is when I was younger, I call it landmine, emotional landmine. I stepped on one, which would have been either my father going off or my mother doing something, or there's a lot of trauma going on or drama going on in the house. So these are habits, and I'm going to tell you, that cause me to just kind of live in a life that's so disconnected from reality. And I think we could all do that. The first thing that happens when you or I experience something like that when we grew up is we start to literally separate our emotions from our heart, meaning that we start living in our head versus in our heart. And the problem with living in your head versus your heart, you basically are literally overthinking things. You're looking at things more in an intellectual way, and you're starting to disconnect the desire and the dream that you have. The second thing that happens, we start to suffer in silence because I'm sure that, I don't know if you grew up, you were told maybe go to your room if you want to cry, and kids needs to be heard, not seen. No, seen, not heard, right? And when you think about that, what that does, it causes you to withdraw and actually suffer in silence. And when you're suffering in silence, the second thing that happens, you start to survive versus thrive. You settle for a life of surviving versus thriving because you're holding on to everything. You're living life in a way that you've been programmed to live, which is with stress, struggles. And when you're living with stress and struggle, it becomes a way of life. And that's not really a way of living. And the problem with all that is then you sense that something or someone else is living a life for you, or you're missing out on a lot of things that is happening around you. And you're looking at other people going, man, they're living life. I'm not living life. These are the things that I believe happens to us that fragment us from our wholeness, from who we truly are. And what happens, we start to live a facade on the outside, but yet we're broken in the inside. So what I want to do is I want to kind of break down to you three things that you can do in order for you to just kind of get back into who you're designed to be. The very first thing is to reconnect and revive. What I mean by reconnect and revive, reconnect with the pain. I said this in my workshop is sometimes it's okay to go back to the pain with an experienced person. I'm not saying go back to the pain to pitch your tent there, but I'm saying reconnect with that pain because you got to reconnect with your emotions, what you felt and what you're feeling. And reviving them will obviously cause pain. That's why I say, I mean, you may want to have somebody with you that's a professional to go over that pain. The second thing we want to do is you want to reflect and remove the mask. You need to reflect back on your mechanism, the defense mechanism, how you shut yourself down, how you may want to go watch TV. So start to catch yourself whenever I feel X, I go to this source to short term release myself from from these emotions that I feel. Remember, if you suffered in silence growing up, you're going to suffer silently as well as an adult. So that's why I say you need to reflect on where you're going to release the emotion and how are you doing it. And then what we need to do is to remove the mask. How do I remove the mask? I become vulnerable with trusted people. It starts small. It starts, and I need, for me, I've been doing this for a long time, but I could still withdraw at times and I could still reserve parts of my heart with even trusted people. So it's a constant reflection and going, hey, why am I holding on to this part of me? Why am I holding on to shame? Why am I holding on to these secrets, right? You see, shame dies when it's exposed. I'm gonna repeat this. Shame dies when it is exposed. Shame does not like light. When you take shame and you bring it out in the outside, it dies because it only has a stronghold when you keep it in the dark. Okay, So remember, shade and shade, shame like shades. All right. So the last thing we want to do is want to realign our action and reclaim our life. The way we're going to do this, you need to start to see some of the things that you've put off, some of the procrastination things that you've done. We procrastinate because we project a negative outcome, basically. And even that, when you project a negative outcome, it's again programmed from your past. When you had an explosion, emotional landmine, as I speak, growing up, you learn to protect yourself. You learn to look at the of what's about to happen. You learn to try to control the room, control the future before it gets there. So that's why I say realign your action with present action that's actually connected to the present, to your purpose, to what you want to do, to your passion today, now. And look at the list of all the procrastination lists and start looking at lists. Okay, what are the steps that I need to take to move towards what I want to do? Okay. And let me do it today, because tomorrow is never promised and tomorrow is an excuse for today. All right. Like when you plan tomorrow is an excuse for today. Okay. Lastly, what I would say is just reclaim your desire, reclaim your drive, reclaim who you were designed to be. In order for you to reclaim, you need to actually think about that word reclaim is you need to go back and claim what's yours. There's a lot in this life that is yours. And if you don't reclaim it, nobody else wants. A lot of times we wait for a rescuer to come. We wait for that someone to come and rescue us, but we need to go back and reclaim. It needs to take an action for us to go, what do I need to reclaim? I need to reclaim my authentic self. I need to reclaim my honesty. I need to reclaim my boundaries. I need to reclaim my integrity. All right. That's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. Comment and let me know what you think. Thank you.